Hey guys, how is everyone? So I'm just out the back testing out my little DJI Osmo Pocket. So you can't see what setup I've got now, but I've got a boom mic set on top of a little Polar Pro adapter mount that's got me phone as well as my Osmo Pocket, and it's also got the boom mic, and the boom mic is a Rode Videomic Pro Plus. So I haven't really put this to the test yet, but it's got what's called a dead cat on the top, and what that dead cat does is hopefully, and that's why we're at the back of the house now, and what that dead cat does is it blocks the wind noise. So it's really windy out the back here right now, so we've got the dead cat on top of the mic, and I'm just out the back now walking around just talking. So I'm not using my Wi-Fi mic at the moment. So this would be an ideal setup when I want to walk around. As you can see, it should be relatively smooth. So we're just shooting into the sun right now. Now there's a couple of settings that I can change on the back of this mic, so I'm just going to change them now. You'll notice that I've got face tracking on at the moment, so you'll notice that you probably can't hear me too well because the boom mic is pointing the other direction. But I just want to turn this around just to boost the gain up. So what I've done then is I've actually boosted the gain up by 20 dBs on the mic. Now I can also adjust the gain inside the DJI Osmo Pocket as well. The advantage now, because I've got my phone connected to the DJI Pocket, I've got more adjustments. So we're just going to go into the adjustments now. So I've got the promo, and I've got volume, to set that to custom, and I'll just drop that down to about 4 dBs. So right now I've got the camera itself set to 4 dB, and I've got the boom mic set to 20 dB. So I just want to try that out. And saying that, the wind has dropped down just a tad. So we're shooting this in 4K. So this is a test. Now what I want to do here now is just see if it's picking up any wind noise. Now what we'll do now is we'll drop that down, the gain down even further. We'll drop that down on the camera down to 2 dB gain, and we'll see what that's like. So we'll just go for a wander, and I've still got the boom mic set at 20 dB. So we'll just go for a walk here. Now in saying that, I wouldn't be surprising now if you can't hear any wind noise, if there was any, because it has dropped down considerably. You could probably see in the trees in the background, they're not moving as much. Okay, so let's now try something out. Let's turn. Right, so I've got the so right now I've got the boom mic set back on 0 dB, and I've got 2 dB gain set on the DJI Osmo Pocket. Now just out of curiosity, let's bring that back gain up to default of 10. So I've now got that set to 10. So that'll be interesting to see. It'd be interesting to see which one's coming out a lot clearer, which one sounds better for my voice. So now let's set that down to 5 dBs. So that's set down to 5 dB. Now that I say that, the wind has picked up again. Now also what we got, so what I've done now, okay, 75 dBs. Okay, I've got a frequencies. I can also, hang on, that's actually, now what I can do on this boom mic, I can also adjust the frequency range. So what I've got set up now is it's set up to block out any frequencies that's below 75 dBs. So this will be interesting now to see I've still got it set to 0 dB, and I've got 5 dB set on the camera. So I'm going to whack the camera up to 10 dB, which seems to be the normal range by default. The camera appears to be set on is 10 dBs. There's also an auto mode as well. I've been using the camera on auto mode with the Wi-Fi adapter. I haven't actually tried to adjust the gain on the cameras yet. But what I want to see what happens right now is I want to see how this sounds with 75, anything below 75 dB drop down. So the wind, it's quite windy again now. The wind has picked up. I'm probably about a foot and a half away from the boom mic, which is ideal. Now the beauty of the boom mic, it's directional. Now the wind is blowing towards me, so it's probably, you're going to hear less noise. You probably won't hear the wind right now, so this would be a very good test to see when I'm down on the beach or so on, to see if the point in the different direction of the boom mic, if it picks up the sound. So now it's coming in from that direction, coming through this way, and this would be a really good test now because it's really blown. It's really windy now. Now we've got the boom mic pointing towards the breeze, so it's blowing into the boom. So this will be interesting. And again, I've still got the boom mic set to 0 gain. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to set it up to 20. Okay, here we are, we're back now. So I've now got the boom set on 20 dB gain. I can see, I'm looking at, so I'm not looking at the camera right now. Sorry guys, I'm not ignoring you. So I'm actually just checking the adjustments, the settings. I've got a graph on here, so I want to see what the mic is doing on that graph. So I've got 10 dB set on the camera, and I've got plus 20 dB set on the boom mic as well, with the 75 hertz frequency, so anything below 75 hertz. Now I can change that to 150, which is what we'll do shortly. So let's just wander back this way. So again, I'm walking into the wind. Now when I get to this side of the house, I'm quite sheltered from the breeze, so there's not as much wind there. So now we'll go back this way. Now out of curiosity, I want to drop down the gain on the camera down to 5 and see what that's like. So we now got 5 dB set on the camera, and we've got plus 20 dB set on the boom mic. Now what I haven't tried as yet is to set down at 0 dB. What if we go 0 dB? How does that sound? Does that sound better? So all the amplification is coming through the Rode boom mic. So there's no amplifications coming through via the DJI Osmo Pocket whatsoever. So this will be interesting. So I've still got it set to 20 dBs. Okay, so it's still set to 20 dB. I'm about a foot and a half away from the camera. So let's try that now. Unfortunately the wind has dropped down just a tad. It's picking up a bit now. Seems to be if I go out in the middle of the yard here, and this section here seems to pick up most. This is where it seems to get most of the breeze here. So right now the wind is blowing into the mic. This will be interesting now. It's just picked up a bit now. It's just getting windy now. Now here's a strong bit of wind now. So it'll be interesting to see how I sound compared to that breeze now. So that's really windy right now. So let's turn around. So the wind's coming from that direction now. Now it's coming from behind. It's probably the wind has dropped down just a tad since I've turned around. It's picking up a bit now. Now what we can also adjust, now I'm just going to turn this around and I'm going to set that frequency, change that frequency to 150. Okay, so we're now got it set to 150. So anything below 150 supposedly should be cut out now. So now I'm walking into the breeze, but it's quite windy now, so I want to actually I want the mic facing into the breeze and see what difference does that make. Now that I'm on 150 plus 20, so it's still on plus 20 on the mic. If I've got 150 hertz cutout frequency set on the boom mic, and I've still got the DJI Pocket set on 0 dB. Now it's quite windy right now, so let's set the Pocket up to 5 dB. I'm just going to set the Pocket up to 5 dB now. Be interesting to see what that's like now. Now I've also got another frequency set on here where anything above 6,000 hertz, it's amplifying just a tad. So I've got that set up on the boom mic as well. And supposedly what that does, from what I've read online and in the manual, that when you're using the dead cat on the boom mic, now dead cat is that flurry thing that you see on top of the mic to help stop the noise of the wind. When you've got that set on there, what it does is, I believe it drops down a slight amount of the higher frequencies. So I've read in the manual, and I saw some YouTube reviews, that if you turn that special frequency setting on this particular boom mic, that what it does, it amplifies your voice over the sound of the wind and so on. So in the ideal world, hopefully you cannot hear any wind right now. I got 20 dB, although because I got 20 dBs, what I might do now is, no, I'll leave it on 20 dBs just for a moment. It's picked up a bit now, but what I want to do now is I will actually take it off 20 dBs. Okay, so what I've got now, I've got the mic, I've got the boom mic set on 0 dB gain, and I've got the camera set on 5 dB. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I have a feeling that probably the best way to have this, I've got the camera set on 2 dB now. I have a feeling that if I leave this on probably plus 20, I don't know. Let's try it again. Okay, so I've got that set on plus 20 dB now. So if I leave that at 20 dB, the camera's on 2 dB, I've got 150 hertz. So it'd be interesting to see what that sounds like now. It's quite windy. Is that keeping the wind noise away? It'd be very interesting to see. I'm just going to turn face out of the wind. Is it better if I point the back of the mic to the wind? I know with the boom mic it's more directional. Like I said, if I go right out here, you probably won't be able to pick me up or hear me as well as if I'm right in front. So let me just, okay. Wow, this thing gets heavy after a while. There we go. Face tracking works quite good. So I'm just moving my head around. You can see it actually follows me. This will be ideal setup sitting on the tripod, but with the tripod, that's when I'd be using the wireless mic. So what we should do now is go and turn this off, go plug it into the computer and see. But before I do that, actually I want to set the right now, so I've got the phone set on 10 dB. The boom mic is still on 20 dB. So what I'll do now is I'll turn off the, okay. So what I've done now is I've turned off the frequencies adjustments, so everything's back to normal now except for the boom mic is on plus 20 dB, and the camera is on 10 dB. So I've got the camera facing in the other direction, so I'm pretending I'm walking along and just filming. If I wanted to pick up a noise, like noises coming from on the front, like the birds and so on, or someone I'm talking to, then I would turn the mic around. But right now I've got the mic still pointing towards me, and I'm just following the camera, walking behind the camera. I'll just turn around this way. Now that breeze, that's quite a strong breeze. Now I've got the volume amplification level set to custom. I'm going to go to auto. It's now on auto. So now that's the default setting. That's generally the settings that the camera is always on. So this will be very interesting to see what it's like. Does it sound similar to my mic? So when I use my mic, I just plug it in and I leave the settings as it is. That's in the camera. When I mean mic, my wireless mic. So this will be interesting to see what this test is like. I can see the graph that it's actually a bit higher. So this would be good. I'm out filming. It's waterfall or something. I can sit there. Oh, look at that beautiful waterfall. You probably couldn't hear it. I'd probably turn the mic around so you could hear the waterfall. The camera is not set at the ideal setting for filming. We're on 1/1600th of a second shutter speed, which is not good, so it's probably quite jumpy when I'm moving around quickly like this. So the ideal is I've got filters, neutral density filters. Some of them got polarizer built into them, which you place in front of the lens of the camera, which will drop the shutter speed down. So alright, let's go turn this off and go see what that's like.